How's it going, guys? So I'm up here on a no cooling call. It's just not cooling as well on this carrier. Weather maker, and I thought I'd be able to jump in, try to figure out, what's going on. And first thing I found was this first stage compressor not running, and I found it was off on your low pressure switch. So I put my gauges on. I got some decent pressures on there. I tried to jump it out and check this out. It comes on. We'll watch my head pressure. I know we're on the discharge because that's how carrier runs. But it steadily climbs up. And you know what? Let me take these gauges off, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the panel back on. That might be the problem. Like the rookie I am. So hang on, let me get this panel back on and I'll bring you guys back. Alright, so I got the panel half-ass on there. And just a quick look at my pressures again. We're still up around 450 on the high side, but it's dropping a little bit better. Our suction pressure, that seems pretty decent. Not exactly where I want it. It's a little high too. But I checked these switches up here. The high pressure was closed, but the low pressure switch was open. So it looks like we might have a bad low pressure switch. So kind of interesting. These carriers could have totally been designed better. But let's see, about 125. I guess that's not bad for a discharge temperature. You had to think after it goes through the coil and everything else, that pressure is going to drop a little bit better. So I'm going to take a look. Might end up cleaning this condenser coil and jumping out the low pressure switch for now until I can come back and get that changed out. Okay, so I got this rigged up here. Probably a lot better than I had it. I got my gauges where they're supposed to be. And just taking a look at my pressures. This guy's definitely not low on refrigerant, so I don't know why that pressure switch would be keeping that compressor off unless it was broken. But taking a little bit closer look, we got these louvers on this coil, and it's pretty plugged up. I don't know if you guys can see that in there. So I'm gonna probably kill this unit and find a way to get my hose up here, wash it off, and then we'll check our head pressures again. We're still at about 450, which really isn't too bad for a discharge pressure at this point, but I think we can get it a little lower if we clean this coil. Alright, so I got my hose connected down there. Fortunately, they don't have any water connections up here on the roof, but my hose came over and will reach just fine. I'm pretty sure I can get all this equipment up on this roof, so that's definitely pretty awesome. I got my cleaners, and I'm gonna get started cleaning this coil. It is pretty bad, a little worse than I thought. This coil might actually be a split row condenser. I'm gonna do the best I can without splitting it today. And if we can't get that head pressure down even a little bit, then I'll request to come back and pop the top and split that condenser and get it cleaned right. But for right now, I got about 9 units to do, so I'm just gonna clean this the best I can. was pretty bad. Alright, so I'm going to let that go for about 5 minutes. Let it push as much stuff out of there as I can. Man, I really don't like that disconnect location. That kind of makes me not feel too safe. But anyway. Alright, so I checked the belt. Everything else looks good in there. This is the second stage compressor, the one that was running originally. And our suction line temperature is steady dropping. And our pressures, they look about the same. Our head pressure is a little wobbly, but that's our discharge. It looks like we got a 50-degree evaporator on this first circuit, or on the second circuit, I would say. 49 degrees. 49 degrees. Looks like we don't have any superheat. We're probably flooding back. So these units are likely overcharged. I forgot I did check the filters to begin with, and they looked fine, so we might put in an estimate to go ahead and remove some refrigerant from these circuits. Or I may just end up doing it before I leave just to make this thing right. But yeah, we're condensating quite a bit, moving a lot of water out of there. So I'm going to check the second circuit and then I'll be out of here. We're reading a 45-degree suction line, and we're at about a 43-degree evaporator temperature. And my discharge gauge is going crazy. Normally, if that was connected to the liquid line, that would be a sure sign of non-condensables. But I see that sometimes on discharge lines because I am measuring vapor pressure, and it kind of goes crazy a little bit. That's a lot worse than it was before I cleaned the coil, so we might look into that a little bit further. But for now, it seems like we're a little bit overcharged. But when I check everything else, make sure the filters are clean, and do the rest of the maintenance on this. And if we need to do anything further, I'll bring you guys back along. But for now, that's it. I'm gonna get moving on to these other units. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, like. If you dislike it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.